He's back. Hi Beats, it's EKG. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Ebony, but I like to go by EKG. And I hope you're taking care of yourself. This is a reminder to take your daily supplements if you have not already. Drink water and be prosperous. Today I have a video for a series I have going on my channel called the Reading Playlist, in which I do book recommendations based on musicians, their albums, and their favorite books. And today I have Tyler the Creator. If you don't know who Tyler the Creator is, he's a singer, rapper, songwriter, and just all around fun person. He also was a YouTuber at one point, so love that. And today I'm going to hit you with some book recommendations based on his two most recent studio albums, Flower Boy and IGOR. I personally love Flower Boy and IGOR so much. I am a huge Tyler the Creator fan, and he just recently announced that he's coming out with a new studio album, and I can't wait for that. So I thought that we all take a trip down memory lane, hit up our faves from Flower Boy and IGOR, and I can hit you with some book recs. I'm going to first start off with giving you book recommendations based on Flower Boy. To me, Flower Boy first look at a slightly softer side to Tyler the Creator that we get in his music and his sound. He incorporates a lot of elements of jazz, funk, rap, hip-hop, and he really analyzes the complexities of human relationships as well as human expression, and he relates that to nature. So just kind of based on that aspect of Flower Boy. So the first book that I would like to recommend to you based on that is Clara and the Sun. And Clara and the Sun is Ishiguro's way of just kind of doing a deep dive into human relationships, particularly what it means to have friendship. What does a friendship mean? And in Flower Boy, especially in songs like 911, Mr. Lonely, Potholes, Tyler the Creator speaks a lot about having a distrust in his close companions. And specifically in 911, Mr. Lonely, Tyler the Creator talks about filling the void of that lack of human connection with technology or material items. And I feel like that's what Clara and the Sun is a case study on. It is just basically a character analysis following an artificial friend whose name is Clara, her relationship to the human family and the human girl who she is adopted by, Josie, and how Clara, as an artificial intelligence, views human connection, the human heart, human emotions, human expression, and relates that to kind of like grappling with this understanding as a thing that is not human. And I feel as though that's prevalent in Tyler the Creator, especially like I was saying in songs like 911, Mr. Lonely, Potholes, even in like Garden Shed as well. And Tyler the Creator uses Flower Boy as a way to just sort of do a deep dive into what relationships mean to him, his distrust in people, and how that is negatively affecting him. And one part of 911 Mr. Lonely, featuring our king Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator talks about like being the loudest person in the room means that you're the most insecure, and that you are, or he kind of views it as being like the most insecure and just very grappling with the tension and just kind of that deep dive into what it means to truly be alone and how being alone manifests itself through the ways that people behave around other human beings. And Clara and the Sun by Ishiguro is a perfect example of that, just through the lens of an artificial intelligence, which I think was a brilliant stylistic choice by Ishiguro, because then you can step outside of the narrative from the human experience and kind of view it through something that doesn't necessarily understand how we are or can't put words to how humans are. Clara and the Sun is definitely kind of like a slow burn. It does not have much going on plot-wise, but it is a book that is sticking with me. And also the next book that I want to talk about based on Flower Boy and Tyler the Creator's stylistic choice to use nature as a landscape to talk about human connection, I have to mention the queen of nature, the poet Mary Oliver. I think you could literally read any single one of her collections, any single one of her poems. I specifically recommend that you read Thirst, because in that collection Mary Oliver uses, or she has like her first sort of poems that incorporate other humans in them and that connection, and I think that would be great. I would also recommend Felicity. I mean, just basically anything by her. She is the queen of relaying human emotion and relationships to nature. And like we can see in Flower Boy, Tyler the Creator is literally standing in a field with flowers, a beautiful sunset landscape, and bees, and a lot of his songs incorporate where this flower blooms, garden shed, and things of that nature. So I really appreciate that from Tyler the Creator, and I think Mary Oliver is a great option for that. Okay, so next we're gonna get into some of Tyler the Creator's favorite books. I found that one of his favorite books, he said in an interview, is Goosebumps, specifically the ones that incorporate like choose your own adventure style of writing, and for that I want to recommend Friday Black. Friday Black is a collection of short stories that is kind of genre bending in the way that Tyler the Creator is in his music. He doesn't necessarily stick to one specific type of music, and in Friday Black we get insight into different modes of expression of blackness, and also just kind of the atrocities that can occur. And in specific, there's a story in there called Zimmerland, and in Zimmerland it follows a choose your own adventure type of amusement park in which the main character in that story is a black man, and the attenders of the park can select the modes in which they interact with him. That's all I will say. It is very thriller, very creepy, but I think that it is a good example to fall in line with Goosebumps. And for Forward, the first song in Flower Boy, and as well as Where This Flower Blooms, Tyler the Creator talks a lot about blackness, black expression, and like in that blackness cannot be this one specific mode, and that it is very varied, and there is a lot of different ways that black people can choose to express themselves, which is what Friday Black is about as well. So I definitely recommend you check that one out. Another one of Tyler the Creator's favorite books is R. Crumb's Dream Diary. In R. Crumb's Dream Diary, R. Crumb decided to document his dreams, and they were like very bizarre. I haven't read it, but I did read a snippet online, and I feel like the way Tyler the Creator incorporates his visuals for his songs and use this sort of like dreamlike state, and for that I think a honorable mention recommendation from me would be Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I think Kafka on the Shore would be great. Kafka on the Shore incorporates a lot of themes of magical realism, and it basically follows the main character on a sort of whimsical quest, and within this we get like crazy images. So it says their odyssey, as mysterious as it is to us, is enriched throughout by vivid accomplices and mesmerizing events. Cats and people carry on conversation, and rainstorms of fish and worse fall from the sky. So that definitely feels like a sort of dreamlike world, and I think as an honorable mention, Kafka on the Shore would relate to Tyler the Creator's quirkiness and just kind of like outlandishness and avant-gardeness of his music, his style. So I definitely recommend that. When I think about Igor now, transitioning into Igor, I think about just relationships. The album is kind of broken down into two separate parts. The first part is about falling in love, and the second part is kind of like the falling action and the resolution of the act of falling in love for Igor or Tyler the Creator. I thought of what is the most complicated book that I read on human relationships recently, and that is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I mean, at the end of Igor, the last song is literally called Are We Still Friends? So I think the connection is uncanny, truthfully, and Conversations with Friends follows our main character, Frances, as she gets involved with a relationship to a married man, and her best friend Bobby, and also the wife of the man are kind of like in this very interesting web of a relationship, and the main character slightly unsure of herself and she is just a complicated person. And Sally Rooney is the queen. Okay, Conversations with Friends turned me into Sally Rooney stan, because I read Normal People, wasn't that crazy about it, but I absolutely adored everything about Conversations with Friends. I feel as though Tyler the Creator would appreciate the writing style. It is very blunt, and Sally Rooney has such an effective way of using cultural analysis to reflect how her characters are feeling. And I feel as though that's what Tyler the Creator does in his music. Some of my songs when I think about Igor are, I think, Gone, 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 Are We Still Friends? I mean, the list goes on. I just think if there's one book that could relay the message of Tyler the Creator's Igor, it definitely would be Conversations with Friends. We get a very nuanced piece of human connections, friendships, intimate relationships, and just intimacy and in total, what does it mean to be intimate with someone, and the different modes and forms of intimacy and what that entails. And yeah, I loved Conversation with Friends. Highly recommend. And I would also like to do a sort of honorable mention, does this still count? And follow me on this one, okay? I recommend that you watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Minds with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. And you're probably like, hold up, that's a film. Okay, hear me out, okay? The title of the film comes from a poem. I'm going to insert the poem on the screen, so I think this still counts because it's inspired by a poem. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Minds definitely follows sort of the dreamlike state that we've been talking about, and it is a very big movie on memory. And this is just kind of jumping back to Flower Boy. Tyler the Creator has a song on there called November, and he talks a lot about wanting to return to this one day in November that was the best day of his life. And that's what Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind does. It basically follows a non-linear narrative, and it's following our two main characters, Jim Carrey, who's played by Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, as to kind of fall in love, and then the falling action and the resolution of that, of what that entails. And there's a lot of memories, there's a lot of dreams, not that much nature, but definitely the whole aspect of complicated human relationships and what it truly means to be intimate to someone. What does memory mean? How does memory influence our relationships to people and our dreams? And yeah, I definitely recommend that. I guess that is sort of an honorable mention slash, aren't you a booktuber, why are you recommending films? But okay, don't come for me. I think you would love that. It is definitely quirky, unconventional in the way that Tyler the Creator is, and I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, Beats, that concludes this video. You can follow me on Instagram at ekgwriting and on Goodreads. It'll be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you can check out the other videos in this playlist. I'll link it. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!
And I was like, yo.